too soon, before its time, inappropriate. These were some of the terms used with the Venture Brothers 8-inch action figure toy line when it first debuted back in the, I'd say the mid 2000s, 2012, 2011, 2012. These were some of the terms. These were some of the phrases. Guys, I'm on my second cup of coffee, hanging out here in the museum. You know what time it is, guys. It's coffee time with M.I.B. So welcome back, guys. We have a fantastic show for you. We have a fantastic toy line that debuted back in the mid 2000s. Around 2012. This toy line was manufactured by Biff Bang Pow and MC Toys. All Mego parts, to be honest with you. The head sculpts were beautiful, but fantastic parts. These figures were made absolutely fantastic. Some even sporting clear bodies. Looking at our phantom limb here. Guys, the Venture Brothers toy line met the public with a lot of mixed feelings, a lot of mixed reactions, but more importantly, a lot of mixed reviews. I heard some toy collectors say that they would never purchase these figures because of all of the negative vibes from the cartoon that these action figures were made from. It's Adult Swim from the Cartoon Network. Comes on really late at night. Was the Venture Brothers toy line ahead of its time? Was it too soon to put such a risque cartoon and turn it into a toy line? Was it too soon for the public? Were these toys meant for the adult demographic? Those are the questions, guys, we want to delve into today and discuss. I was hanging down here in my museum, and I've done videos on these figures individually in the past, but it was always met with some head scratching and some what ifs. And our Brock Sampson. These figures some are very difficult to find on eBay or any place else. Some of them are relatively easy to find. The majority of these figures you see here are from Entertainment Earth. Did a fantastic job at selling these toys. They weren't very expensive at that time. I've seen some that's not on this stage that are extremely expensive. If you are a fan of the Venture Brothers television show, you pretty much know all the characters. There's a lot of cursing, there's a lot of adult involvement, if you will. It crosses and connects with all walks of life. And that's just putting it lightly. But it covers everything. Everything, you know, I guess an adult show would cover. It's a cartoon, though. But the question here today, guys, was the Venture Brothers toy line, was it ahead of its time? Was it misunderstood? We want your thoughts and your opinions, especially if you know the show and you know some of these characters that you've seen in the show. Molotov, and these figures were put together absolutely fantastic. Phantom Limb is another difficult one to obtain, to find. Is it Sergeant Hatred? Yeah, Sergeant Hatred. Risque. Violent. How did these toys sell? Did they sell well? I picked them up years and years later, after these toys were released. And we pretty much have a little bit of everything here at the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. These are museum pieces now. Here's our alchemist. Everybody looks just like themselves on a cartoon. What could be viewed as a very controversial toy line by some are viewed as a very fun and cool and connected toy line by others. What's your thoughts? What's your opinions? Was it too soon to put this toy line out? Is this toy line next generation? Was it just simply ahead of its time? A lot of collectors I've spoken to feel that it was just simply ahead of its time. It was misunderstood upon its release in those earlier years, those first couple years, and as time has gone by, some of these figures and this toy line itself, I guess, has become somewhat of a cult classic, or has established a cult following. Too much, too soon. There's been other terms I've heard used. Marketing violence. But was this toy line marketed to the younger demographic? It's an Adult Swim TV show. After hours, when the kids are asleep. So why would kids be purchasing these action figures? Those are the deep, dark mysteries, the questions that we want to delve into. We want to shed some light on. Some people won't even talk about this toy line. But here at the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum and our new segment, Coffee Time with M.I.B., these are the topics, these are the tough topics that we want to tackle. These are the tough topics we want to explore. These are the tough topics that we want to make some sense out of and shed some light on and get some insight from our fantastic subscribers and our viewership. The two burning questions as we look at my Jefferson Twilight, to me is just a knockoff of a Blade, a Blade character. It's got the one red eye. But we want some insight. The two burning questions, guys. Was this toy line, the Venture Brothers toy line, 8-inch action figure toy line, ahead of its time? And was it too soon to put this type of content wrapped in an 8-inch action figure out to the public? Those are the questions, guys, that we want answers to. Those are the questions that we seek answers to. Some of these characters harbor horrible backgrounds. Some of these characters are just simply being themselves. If you know some of these characters, you know what I'm talking about. So it's hit or miss. It depends on what what people are looking for and what they want from the cartoon. The cartoon offered just all types of content for its viewership when it was out, and you can still see it in reruns now. That's a good question. Are they still producing brand new shows? I don't believe so. But if you were a fan of the show back in 2011, 2012, whenever this show first aired or debuted, this toy line was a fantastic idea. If you were a fan of the show, if you were on the fence, you might have purchased a few of these figures. Totally against it, you're scratching your head and asking, why on earth would anybody produce a toy line of this nature, of this content? Who would buy them? Who would purchase them? Who would want to purchase them? Obviously, it had a market. Look at the cast of characters that you see here, and this is just a small portion. There's tons of these figures that I just simply don't have. Some of them are just too expensive, and some of them are just too difficult to find. Which makes this toy line that much more mysterious. And it really surrounds this toy line with a lot of mystery and intrigue. All the more reason why we wanted to do this coffee time episode segment with you today. Maybe you guys can turn over some stones for us and have some answers regarding this toy line. Why was it developed? Was it too soon to put it out on the market? Was it ahead of its time? Or was it just simply misunderstood? We'll let you guys wrap your minds around that and share it with us in the comment section right underneath this video, guys. as our Dr. Henry Killinger, a very mysterious and dangerous character from the show. Thank you for hanging out with us today, guys. You know the routine. God bless. And keep collecting.